Hey guys, welcome to another live. How are you guys doing today? And if you are somebody who is new here, just skip ahead to the 5 minute mark. We will start at around then. I promise. We will start at around then if you are watching through the replay gang. So skip ahead to about 5 minutes. That is when the actual review will start. Just getting my timing together. There we go. Hey, Star Fam. Hey, Star Fam. How are you? Hey, Alicia. Hey, Joy. Hey, Ken. This is the thing, right? This is the last episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac that I am like kind of gonna have a good time reviewing, because I feel like after next week's episode, this show is going to be a bloodbath. I don't see any good coming from that incident on next week's episode. So I feel like this is the last of the good ones. After this, full on war, because I see it coming. I see it coming, and I'm like, oh my God, this is Monique and Candace all over again. This is Monique and Candace all over again. Me too. Oh my goodness. I cried so much in that theater. Oh, what a great movie. What a great movie. Hey, Naya, how are you? Hey, Eva. Hey, give me shelter. Oh, girl, this is done. This is done. Like it's like we can't do anything else. We need to be washed. But thank you, Peyton. Thank you so much. Hey, Nikki A. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Miss T, this is it. This is the last episode. This is the last episode. I don't think we're going to be able to come back from next week. Just buckle up. Buckle up. And I'm like, Andy, why would you put that episode the week of Thanksgiving? Why would you send us all out to like our families and gatherings with this negative energy? This could have waited. This could have waited. Yes, it's coming. It's coming. It is coming. Hey, crazy homebody girl. Wait a minute. Oh, I know. I'm sorry, I was reading Simply Simone's comment. Yeah, not even halfway through the season. I did not know that this drink throw came up this early. When I saw that trailer for next week, I was like, oh God. No, not now. I thought we were going to get it in the new year. My God, today we're getting it now. Hey, Sasha. Hey, Mel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What's up, Dustin? Hey, Kayla. Now, we have a new subscriber. Now, I say your name right. I am not above correction. Ayamade. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. If I'm not, please give me the correct pronunciation. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of the Star family. Hey, Empress, back for another 12. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, I am prioritizing you. I am prioritizing all my UK subscribers when I do my Love is Blind, not Love at the Altar. Love Island reviews. Love Island reviews. I had to read that again because I was like a very dark-skinned energy. A very dark-sided energy is coming. Hey, Tara, how are you? Ken said, child, you got to let the Star family have a seat at the table for this next episode. Your family is so fun and hilarious. You know what? We will be together. Lord, we will be together. My God, today. My God, today. Oh, we're done. We're done. It's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a bloodbath. Dr. M said, I forewarned my family I was going to cry. And when I did, they were horrified. LOL. It was 161 minutes and I spent 159 crying. Yes. Dr. M is talking about Wakanda Forever. Black Panther. Can I tell you, we thought that I won't give away spoilers, but you think you're done crying. And then the movie is like, oh no, we got some more for you. I mean, just whew, so good, but very emotional. And if you are dealing with, if you're like fresh in the morning, I would probably wait. I would probably wait. Hey, Abina, thank you for being here. Miss GG88 said, Nikki, the whole movie theater was sniffling. Yeah, same. Same. Hey, Samantha. So glad you're here. So glad you're here. Thank you all for being here. Oh, we're about to get started. We are about to get started. I hope I caught everybody. If I've missed you, hey, Greta, how are you? I'll definitely catch you when we hop into the chat after I do my review. I think I don't think I have a lot of notes. No, I'm lying. We'll get through it. We will get through it. Let's get into the foolishness. So Candace, in this episode, she reveals this episode basically picks up where last episode left off. Candace reveals that Michael, that's his name, right? Oh, because I call him Gollum all the time. Lord, forgive me. Michael. That Michael pays a high-end escort to suck the escort's penis or whatever she was saying. Michael was doing something grimy. And I will say, Candace, I had to watch it back again because when you first listen to the exchange, I'm just saying from my perspective, I was like, oh, was that a tinge of homophobia? So I had to go back and watch it again. And I will say, when Candace revealed that rumor or that the thing that she had heard from the escort about Michael. She said that she was holding that in, but that she finally revealed it because Ashley was poking at her, right? But they were going back and forth. So when Ashley was trying to rebuttal her, Candace said to her, "Oh, we don't do that over here. We're children of God," or something like that. Like just basically saying that they're Christians and they don't do uh whatever Michael or Ashley was doing. When I watched it back, like if you just watch it and you don't go back, in my opinion, I did think at the moment that you were kind of giving off some kind of homophobic shade. But I will say, when I watched it again, I think that you were saying that you don't do what Ashley and Michael does over there. How do you guys feel about that? Because when I heard it, I was like, "Oh, Candace, what was that?" And I went back and watched it. I was like, oh, "Okay," because she was like, "Oh, we don't do that over here. We're God's children," or something like that. We're Christian. We don't do that over here. I think I wrote it down. Yeah, it was something like, "We're God's children. We don't do that over here." And I think you meant that you guys don't swing like Ashley and Michael do. Speaking of Ashley and Michael swinging, I absolutely think that rumor or whatever, the word of mouth from the escort is true. Here is why. Ashley's reaction. Ashley, for me, you always confirm all of these rumors about your husband because you hear very terrible things about him and you never have a reaction. Because later in the episode, when Ashley, Giselle, and Candace are not Ashley, Giselle, and Candace, Ashley, Giselle, and Robin are meeting up, Robin reveals to Ashley that she did hear that rumor, that Candace did tell her that the escort said that, Michael likes to suck him off, right? So when she said that to Ashley, Ashley was like, "Why are you laughing? Like, what is funny?" She does that every time somebody brings up something about her husband wilding in the streets. And that makes me believe that you already know these things. And I think that this isn't cheating in your relationship. I honestly think they have an open marriage. I thought that for a very long time. My mom brought that up on one live, and I was like, you know what? This makes a lot of sense. So I think they have an open marriage. So none of his infidelities to us surprises her, because I think he has a hall pass to just bang every and anybody and every and anything because he holds the financial power in the relationship. I think their relationship hit a rocky point where when Ashley decided that she no longer wanted to be, a part of this, the freak brigade. Like, you know what I mean? I think when she was just like, I'm a mom now. I don't want to do these things. I've been with you long enough to get a certain kind of alimony and child support. I'm good. If this means our relationship is breaking up because I can't service you in that way, I'm fine. But I still have yet to really fully believe this divorce storyline, because it's just something about it just seems like it's a front, right? Like an actual storyline. I don't think that this is her reality, right? And the reason why I don't think it's her reality, again, because of her reaction, the way she talks about Michael, the way she talks about their divorce and them breaking up and things not working out. There's not really any issues that she's mentioning to us about this relationship, right? She doesn't say anything. She's just like, "Oh, we have decided to separate." This is a show where you tell your business. Why are you separating? We don't get any of that. And then we get that you guys are buying a house together, that you guys are getting an LLC together. It doesn't seem like you guys are actually divorcing. It seems like you guys are separating or divorcing to protect the assets that you have jointly. And I think it's probably because your husband got something that's about to come out the woodworks. And I think this divorce is basically an Erica Jane and a Tom Girardi kind of divorce, where it's just like, let's divorce to protect what assets that we may have, so and so don't come for it. That's what I think is happening, because Ashley's behavior is just not making any sense to me. Even your own co-workers do not believe, and they film with you all the time. They do not believe that this is a real divorce. I really think that it is a divorce to hide or protect assets, in my opinion. What do y'all think? Because that's what that is giving me. Ashley, when Ashley mentions that the pendulum swings back the other way around, in what way are these two comparable? Sometimes the pendulum swings back, and I'm like, for who? For who? There's no comparison here, right? Michael Darby is a sexual predator. He has been cleared in a court of law, in your opinion, but the allegations have been dropped, right? We have seen him on camera grope a Bravo employee, and we have heard the audio of the employee saying, "Do not touch me," right? We have also heard several cast members say that they not only witnessed him do that, but they also have said themselves that they have been groped. He's even groped the creator of this freaking franchise. So we have the evidence. None of this is alleged, right? We have it caught on camera, candid camera, and we have people admitting that he has touched them inappropriately, right? So how is Chris and Michael the same? If you're saying that the pendulum always swings back because Candace was speaking about the things that your husband was doing and has done to people that she has worked with, if you're saying that, then it still does not make sense because this is not in comparison to the same thing. Chris unfortunately is being dragged through the mud because one of the main cast members on the show does not have a storyline. She has made him her storyline, but unfortunately, fortunately for Chris and unfortunately for her, it's backfiring. So this is not comparable in any kind of way, unless, like Candace said, you are doing this to be vindictive, which makes perfect sense, right? Because you're mad at the woman because she, out of everybody else, did not lay off of these allegations about your husband and about the things that she has witnessed your husband do. So you're mad about those things because I guess in some kind of way it has damaged your relationship or your husband's character in some kind of way. But everything that was spoken about that he has done, we have seen play out on camera. You guys have even talked about it on camera. So what are we supposed to do with this information? This is not the same pendulum. You are in the wrong area with this one. I think that Candace was on it when she said that everything that you do comes from a place of vindictiveness. And I think that maybe outside of the vindictiveness, because you were in this sham of a marriage, you have allowed yourself to be shut off from feeling anything, right? Because your mind is just completely on hustle. I see so many comparisons between Erica Jane and Ashley, especially this episode. And the reason why I say that is because on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Erica just comes off so cold. Like she don't care about nobody else but herself and how she is going to maintain the lifestyle that she has become accustomed to living. I feel the same way about Ashley. I'm watching this and I'm just like, you are so nasty. You are so vile and you do not care. You do not care because after that exchange that she had with Candace, Candace walks away visibly upset. She's smiling and laughing. You're smiling and laughing after you have piled on to a false storyline about this woman's husband. And the reason why you're doing that is because you feel like she's piled on to a truthful storyline about your husband that she didn't even bring up. Candace explained on her Twitter that when that stuff was sent to her about Michael, it happened on camera. And she was right there with the producer who was asking her what is going on. And that is when they were in the closet. So whatever information that she got, she could not hide it because production had already saw it at that point and she was mic'd up. So they were already catching her hot mic. So these things are not comparable. You are just so nasty and vile, and everybody allows you to get away with it, of course, because you are light and have 3B curls. But I feel like now, because Candace is not giving you the reaction or reading you in a way that people can excuse your behavior to make her aggressive and dangerous and call for her firing, because she is now acting like you, how you act like a victim, because she is now not giving you that, right? Because she is retreating away and reading you in her confessionals and not in person and not giving you that energy. People are now allowed to see it. And the same thing is happening for Wendy. And I absolutely hate that for them. I absolutely hate that they have to be docile for certain people in this fan base to see the abuse that they are taking from their coworkers. Y'all can't see it any other time unless they are playing these docile mammy roles. And then when they are in a position where you think that they should be in, you finally can see how these women are being extra harsh for no other reason than the fact that they can and will be protected. Sad. Very, very sad. Very, very, very sad. Robin didn't call an Uber because production didn't take her home. Robin had to say something when everybody was going back in that Sprinter van. Robin had to make up some story. She was like, "Oh, I'm here waiting for my Uber." You absolutely are not waiting for your Uber. You were hoping that somebody in production would drive you back home. But whoever the director or whoever the producer of that scene was, they said, "Ain't nobody leaving because it's a hot scene happening right now in the winery, and I need all hands on deck. So Robin can sit there for hours until we get the footage that we need because we paid to use this space." That's exactly what happened. Robin was lying. "Oh, my Uber wasn't here, so I was just waiting for you guys." Girl, production did not call you an Uber because they were not taking you home. And you were not paying for that Uber from all the way up in the boonies to take you back to Virginia where you reside. Stop playing. Stop playing. You had to sit there and wait for that scene to be done. That's why you asked for your Ugg boots and got a little blanket so that you could get comfortable, because you knew you were going to be there for a long time. You ain't fooling me. You ain't fooling me. Ain't no way that Chris was creeping on Chris Samuels in the lace front. Oh my goodness. The more they zoom in on that woman, the more I see Chris Samuels in a lace front. Like I can't unsee it. And I think it's because I forget her name. It's a girl named Danielle, whoever Ashley's friend is that lied and said that Chris was creeping on her. The reason why I cannot unsee it is because she has the same forehead and eyebrows as Chris Samuels. Like this right here is absolutely identical. If you isolate their forehead and eyebrows, it's the same thing. You should look into that. Chris Samuels in the lace front. What is your name? Is it Danica? Deborah? Whatever your name is, you should look into that because you could be Ken. You could be Ken. You look so much like that man. You could be a long lost sister. You never know. And if I was you, I would look into that. Get some of that brotherly coin. Thank you so much, K Pret, for the super chat. K Pret said, Ashley said they were open for a while and then she tried to close it and Michael said no. And that's probably when the divorce happened. But again, I still don't believe this divorce storyline. Thank you so much for the super chat. I think they hide assets, allegedly. You know what? Y'all don't sue people like Diana. I'm okay. Hey, Suki Blackhouse said Giselle is old enough to be Chris's great auntie. Ain't nobody checking for Giselle. Okay, Giselle's turkey neck and bad fashions. Oh Lord, Chris Bassett, is that you? Thank you so much for the super chat, Suki. Thank you so much for the super chat. What is that girl's name? The nose too. Sasha said, wait, who said the nose? Somebody said the nose too. But it's like they look so similar. That is crazy. That is crazy. And that close-up shot that Bravo got of her, y'all know what y'all doing. Y'all know what y'all are doing. Yeah, I don't believe it. Because if Chris was creeping on her, now Giselle later in the episode was like, well, he was also filling on her butt. I'm like, y'all are liars. Y'all are liars. It went from he was staring down Mia, now he's staring down Ashley's friend. Now, not only is he staring down Mia and Ashley's friend, he's grabbing on his friend's butt. And production and the cameras was there the whole time and nobody caught it. Y'all liars. You guys are lying. There's no way that all of that happened on camera and this messy show would not show it. There's no way. There's no way. They gave us not only Michael grabbing the cameraman, but also the audio. And that's incriminating to the damn network. But they still showed it because it's messy. It's messy and that's profit. No matter who's at risk, they're going to use any and everything that will help this show become profitable. So there's no way that they have a video footage of Chris Samuels, not Chris, Nikki, I done messed myself up, of Chris Bassett grabbing Chris Samuels in a lace front butt and not show it. Y'all are liars. This is why Candace and Chris was going off on Twitter. because I was like, what is going on right now? Because they were going off when the show was filming, and it actually comes up in this episode. And I was like, what the hell happened this season? Now I understand. You guys are liars. Y'all are just lying. And for what reason? What did these two people do to any of y'all for y'all to come together and conspire this horrible storyline? That's the thing. The storyline is terrible. It's dark. It's like it could ruin Chris and Candace's marriage. It could also ruin Chris's reputation. Like, this is just so evil. Oh God. Potomac. Beverly Hills was so dark. We were hoping that you guys would be lighter, but my God, today, this is just Beverly Hills with a melanin at this point. Oh my goodness. And Candace always cries, right? My heart broke for her in this scene with Giselle. Because, we got the little clips or whatever earlier, but when you watch the full scene out, you can tell that Candace is so heartbroken because her and Chris really considered Giselle a friend. And when she said that to her, she was like, I cannot believe that you are doing this to someone who considered you a friend. And she also said, what did she say? And I can't believe that you are making a statement like that on this platform, knowing the damage that it will do to somebody that considered you a friend. And I was like, oh, this is sad, because the show is good when the mess and drama stay on the show. When y'all start getting personal and taking it off the show and, just being really spiteful, I think it doesn't work with the viewers, because now it's no longer you playing a character of yourself or playing this character on a TV show. It's you showing us who you are in real time, right? In real life. And it's just ugly because the viewers are able to excuse the mess on this show if we think that you're just playing it up for cameras, right? We're able to digest you because we think that you are just playing into something. When we realize that this is who you really are, it doesn't feel good anymore. And then it's hard to just take you now because we see you as this evil person off the show as well. Like, fun Giselle is fun, right? Especially when her and Karen are going back and forth. It's fun shade, it's fun reads. Giselle, you have went so dark and so far. Like, this is not you. This is not you. You normally do the fun shade and the fun reads. What is happening? And why did you choose Chris, your friend of all people, to do something like this too? Did you think that him and Candace will understand that it's just for the show? Because I don't believe this. And I am somebody, y'all know I always come on here and I say, believe women. Giselle, you lost me in the first episode when you brought this up to Candace, and when you saw her reaction, you chuckled. And I don't think you knew the camera caught that. You looked at the camera and you had this nasty little grin and you did a little laugh. And then I guess you looked at whatever the producer that was in the corner, you looked at him. And I'm just like, if you're telling this woman that her husband was possibly going to harm you in some way sexually in a room, what is funny about that? Why are you grinning? What is enjoyable? Just very weird to me. And I disbelieved you absolutely in that moment. And why I continue to disbelieve you is that every episode, it's a different freaking story. Every episode, it's a different story. And that is the thing about lying. You have to keep on telling lies so that you can remain believable. But when you are telling so many lies, your brain is not able to keep up with the things that you were saying. So you often tell new lies, or you embellish on one, or you leave out details in the other, because you're just telling so many lies, you just can't keep up with them. Because when you sit down with Candace in this episode, now you're saying that Chris asked you to come into the room and you didn't feel safe because your glam squad wasn't in there, right? But then when you first told us, you said that you told him to come into the room because you thought your glam squad was in there. Now this man is, pressuring you to go in this room, close the door, and talk to you without his wife and without witnesses. Now it has come to this. But before, you said that you were the one that told him to go into the room. So what is the truth? The truth is this never happened. The truth is you had a conversation with Chris, your friend, and according to everybody on the cast, especially Robin, the guy that cooks for you all the time, Chris Bassett, your friend, whose home you're over having Sunday dinners with all the time, him, what happened was after the show, he did not like how Candace was treated. So he went to his friend to talk about how to handle this situation moving forward because he was so pissed. He was at a point he didn't want him or his wife to be a part of the show because of the brutality that she received at the reunion. So he's confiding in a friend, asking you for advice, not knowing that you are preparing a possible sexual assault storyline against him. This is so evil. And the reason why Candace was crying is because even if they disprove it on the show, right? Even if 90% of the fan base believes them, 10% won't, right? That 10% is damaging. Even if it's 1%, it's damaging because you will have stands who will say, well, Giselle is right. Believe women, you know what I mean? And misconstrue and pervert movements in a way to favor their fave. And it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. And Candace knew that. That's why she said it to Giselle. She said, you are the reason why women don't come out, because when women who have had who have been victims of sexual assault don't come out because of women like you who use movements, right, to pervert the power that movement has. And she's right. And for Giselle to sit there and act like she doesn't know what she's saying. Oh, I'm the reason why women, you know exactly what she was saying. She was saying that women like you who lie on men are the reason why a lot of women are not fully believed when they come out and say that somebody has harmed them, because there are women who have lied and said certain things about certain men to either harm them, to either make somebody jealous, or for whatever reason. That stuff does happen. Now, I don't think that women like that are the sole reason, because I think that women are just not believed anyway. But I think women like that make it harder for women who are victims of a sexual harassment or assault. So Giselle acting like she doesn't know what she means. Like, girl, you know exactly what you mean. You know exactly what she means. And but this is the thing. I'm going to give it to Giselle, right? I don't think she knew it would play out like this. I don't think she knew that Candace would react that way. I think she thought that it would be a one episode thing and be done. But when Candace reacted that way and broke the fourth wall, Mother realized that she went a little bit too far and she was in too deep, and she has too much pride to back out and say, you know what, maybe it didn't happen that way. I think she's going to do that at the reunion when she sees how the fan base is responding to the storyline. But I feel like she did not know it would go here. I don't think she ever imagined it would go here. And I don't see this reunion going well for her, Robin, Mia, or Ashley. I don't see it going well for any of them, to be quite honest with you. And you know what? Finally, the fan base is forced to defend the darkies. And I love it. Finally. I hate that it had to take this. I hate that it had to get so low before some people were able to see how terrible these women are. But my God, today, they have gone beyond the gutter. They have gone beyond the ninth gate of hell. They have just went too far, and their light skin will not save them. Not this time. Why don't Mia like Wendy? I'm so confused by her dislike. I'm also so confused by everybody holding a grudge against Wendy for last season, but nobody is holding grudges for anybody else. Like, everybody else was able to start fresh this season, but Wendy. It's so weird to me. Like, everybody got beef for her. Like, you guys all weren't on the TV show and everybody had beef and everybody let it go, but you won't let it go for Wendy? What is that? Let me tell you what I think it is, right? Damn it. And I put this together I put two and two together today when I was watching this TikTok. One of the ladies that I follow, um, I forget her name. This beautiful sister, right? It's beautiful chocolate sister, 4C hair. Don't do the baby hairs. Full lips, wide nose. Um, Married to a wonderful man that just spoils the hell out of her, right? So she just posted a like vlog of, of just a day in my life. And her husband was on a trip and the husband was dropping ducats on this woman, okay? As it should be, right? But the comments and the stitches to that video were not at all surprising, absolutely disgusting, but not surprising and absolutely disappointing because all of the stitches were commenting on the fact that she didn't lay down her edges and that she had chip nail polish. Like, I think when people who do things like that, right? And I'm tying it into the Real Housewives of Potomac because I think for the preference, right? The preference women on this show. The problem that they have with Wendy and Candace is the fact that they are not the preference, but they are getting the treatment that was promised to them. And I think that's exactly what's happening to that lady on TikTok because there are a lot of women, a lot of preferences in her comments and stitching videos to her TikTok who are upset that somebody who looks like her, the non-preference, is getting treatment that they think is owed to them. And I think that's exactly what's happening on Potomac because I just don't understand. I don't know what Mia is mad about. I don't get it. I don't know why Robin is so mad. I don't know why Robin thinks that, Wendy is so evil. I don't know why Giselle is jumping on that bandwagon. I don't know why Ashley now has beef with Wendy for some reason. Like, I don't get it. But the only thing that makes sense, is that these Black women, these OG looking sisters, right? Oh, you know what? I wasn't even thinking about OG. I was thinking OG original. But of course, these OG looking sisters, these dark Black women with this, with natural edges, the features of their ancestors are being treated a way that was promised to them, and they don't have it. They don't have it. So I feel like their aggression is on 20 with them for those reasons, because it just does not make sense. I'm like, Mia, what is your beef with what is your beef with Wendy? What is your beef with Candace? Like, why are they being mistreated on this show? Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't understand any of Mia's beefs, to be quite honest with you. What the hell are my notes? Quite honest with you, this season. I feel like it's very weird when everybody else was the ones that was denying your cancer scare. Wendy was the only one who didn't, at least in her confessional. She ain't know about that hot mic. But I just don't get it. I don't understand Wendy's beef with Mia or Candace because I just feel like, wasn't that last season? Didn't everybody start fresh? You were able to start fresh with the Green Eye Bandits and they came at you this season. But you still holding grudges with these two women? Is it because you can? Let's move on. Let's move on. What else? I think I had, Wendy. Speaking of Wendy, sis, I love you, right? But we all knew that when Peter Patricia Bailey, shout out to Alexander Rogers, but we all knew when Peter said that you need $350,000 to invest in this restaurant, that you ain't having, that you were not going to do it. We all knew. So you and your husband, you and Eddie, Idris, did not have to sit down and give us the scene that you weren't going to invest in the restaurant. Like, we didn't need that because we all kind of knew. You didn't talk about it after, and your reaction to the amount of money that he said that you needed to invest in a restaurant, which in my opinion seems pretty normal, but to you were just like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. This show is about wealth. But I get it. But you were just like, it's a lot of money. I think we all kind of knew, right? Unfortunately, that's going to lead into you beefing with Peter next episode. And I just feel like, I just feel like you're gonna go through the ringer next episode. I feel like you're going to go through the ringer next episode, and I feel like this next week's episode is extremely brutal. And the reason why I think it's extremely brutal, more than what we have seen in the trailer, is because the way that Mia has been online apologizing to Wendy. Mia don't apologize to nobody, especially Wendy. And every time, the purse or whatever incident happens or is brought up, Mia is apologizing to Wendy. She apologizing to people commenting on it. People cussing her out, calling her all kinds of names. And she's like, I know, I own it. My behavior was not great. Oh, girl, what did you do? What did you do? Because you Miss Prideful or is apologizing all up and down a timeline. I think it's a lot worse than that clip that they showed us. I'm not ready. Not before my holiday. Not before my holiday. Ciao. Listen, Giselle is awful, right? She has been very awful this season. Still think she's good for the show, but I don't know. I mean, we're still pretty early. I don't know how this is going to play out, but I will say her and the Grand Dame outside of Beef, they're what this show needs in terms of comedy, right? Because Giselle is just naturally funny, right? Because when the rumor is brought up about Michael, she was just like, listen, I ain't never heard this, but does the escort look like Juan? Because if he do, then I believe it. Because you know that Michael like a little Juan. What, Robin, why did you tell us that man said that about your husband? Like, this is why Juan be having problems with you. Why did you tell us that? Why did you tell us that? The cameras were not there. We didn't have no audio of that incident. You did not have to bring that to the show. Because that's what everybody thinks about now. That's what everybody thinks about now. Karen. So let's get into the girls' trip, right? So the ladies are going to Miami. This girls' trip is hosted by Mia. Of course, Charisse is brought on the trip because Charisse and Karen do not get along. And she gets a reaction out of the Grand Dame because we see them greeting each other at the airport in the fakest way. Hi, how are you doing? And then as soon as they turn around, they both make faces. They both made faces of disgust. Listen, Grand Dame, I know that you did not want Charisse on this show or to film with you, but listen, y'all are hilarious. You two, y'all are hilarious together. You guys are not, you and Charisse are not the Giselle and Grand Dame dynamic that I enjoy, but you and Giselle aren't beefing this season. So we need you to beef with somebody so we can get those hysterical reactions, those hilarious reactions. Speaking of Charisse, Mia, why did you big up that she was going to have her own room to not give that woman a bathroom? That grown woman. I don't have nothing against Charisse. I know people like her, dislike her. I don't really know much about her. I don't really remember her from the earlier seasons. But I will say, I'm Team Charisse on this one. I'm not sharing a bathroom, especially on the girls' trip, especially on the trip with my coworkers. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I don't think that her little fit that she was having about her not having a bathroom was unnecessary, especially when Mia was acting like she had this special room and she got a closet with no bathroom. Absolutely not. Speaking of this Airbnb, where is the money, Potomac? Where is the money? I mean, you guys are good. You do give us great entertainment, right? I will give y'all that. But we are struggling in the coin department because why are y'all in Coral Gables, Florida? I mean, y'all have to be because that's not Miami. That's not Miami. When they pulled up to that mansion, the Grand Dame was like, where's this? I felt so bad. I felt so bad for Potomac because Potomac and Salt Lake City, they just don't be having the best trips. Like, I don't understand, like, where is the money? Now, was the mansion nice? But yes, it was nice. I will give it that. But you can obviously tell that the only reason why the owner is Airbnb in this property is because it is not selling. And we all know that the upkeep for Airbnb does not look like the upkeep for a home that you are trying to sell for possibly a cash offer, right? Like this, it's totally different upkeep. So the home seems a little old. They had a little dilapidated roof. It ain't look like nobody had been in that that pool for years. It was a little run down, but it was nice, but it was a bit run down. And I just feel like for Potomac, You guys, y'all got to start showing us something. Y'all vacation, all y'all girls trips are at plantations or subway stops. Like, we need to have something. You in Atlanta, because I couldn't believe that they took them to a cottage in the sundown town. Like, how the hell is that a girls trip? Like, we just have to do better with the trips. We have to do better with the trips. Ashley, why are you picking at Candace and you and her are not in a good place? Like, what was this whole joke about hiding the rooms, and now Candace and Wendy have to share a room together? Why are you even doing that? And you know that you and her ended at on a terrible note. Like, I understand fun shade if you guys had a fun little TV misunderstanding or something like that. It's not fun shade, right? If you and the woman are beefing to the point where somebody is breaking down crying. Like, now you just look like you're picking on her. Now you just look like you're bullying her. But keep going, because I want everybody to see what we've been seeing for so long. Keep going, because this is who you've always been. This is who you've always been. Keep going. Keep going. Show your stands who you really are. That's all I have to say. The trailer for next week is frightening. Frightening. If I was running Bravo, I probably would have put that episode the week after Thanksgiving, because my God, today, nobody needs this kind of drama at the dinner table. Nobody needs this kind of drama when we're about to feast, when people are drinking. Like, nobody needs this. We need to start the week off on a high note. I don't think we're going to get it from this show. My God, today, that's all I wanted to say. I'm checking all my super chats. Thank you all for blessing your girl. Thank you so much. I got Suki's. Hey, Asatu. Thank you so much for the super chat. Asatu said, girl, she reminded me. That's her name, Deborah or Deborah. That's her name. That's her name. That is her name. Oh, hold on. Oh my gosh, y'all in here talking. Guys, is this how Monday is? Is this how Monday is going to be? This is the thing. I'm gonna do my best to do a live for Monday, right after next week's episode. But I'm telling y'all this right now. I'm cooking Thanksgiving. I don't know what state of mind I'm gonna be in. I don't know if I'm gonna be stressed. I don't know, but I'm gonna try my best to do a live. I'm gonna try my best. Tracy said Gizzard has been doing made up storylines about other people for years. The problem is she didn't have someone to help her make sure it makes sense. Gizzard was trying to give cheating a failed. What, Tracy? What was you saying right there at the end? Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, my love. Is that it? And I want to get these super chats, and then I'm going to go back up and get older comments. Hey, Tracy. Cherie says Robin's flunky. How did that happen, right? Wasn't it the other way around in earlier episodes? Ciao. See, the people who just came to start watching this show because of the violence that Monique brought to the show don't realize that back in the day, ciao, Sharice and Katie Foster were those girls. The girls that's the girls right now on this show, not back in the day. Not back in the day. Katie was clearing them. Ayamide, thank you so much for the super sticker. Now we are going to go back to older comments. I believe I got all my super chats. Hey Mo, me. Hey, Miss T. Miss T says Mia's new face doesn't. Okay. I will say, Mia, it's a lot of filler. I don't even think you needed all that. But I guess once you go under the knife, you just can't stop. Momi said the fans are just waiting to flip back because they seriously do not like Candace or Wendy. So whatever little bit of hand slapping that those other ladies receive will be temporary. Absolutely. They won't be canceled. They will not be canceled. We know that for a fact. Angel said, I do think she felt uncomfortable because she told Robin the day of, but she let it go until she needed a storyline. I will say that, Angel. I will say that because Robin did admit that they talked about it in the van, the Sprinter van on the way home from the reunion. And Robin was just like, that's not what that is. Like, Robin gave her clarity to it. So I will say that that is very true. There was some kind of uncomfortableness, but the fact that Robin, her road dog, is not riding with this. Speaking of Robin, you can't flip flop on a subject like this. Robin is flip flopping because later in this episode, Robin says, because of Chris's tweeting about the show, defending himself, trying to clear his name before people see this footage and take it for whatever they want to take it, right? Clearing his name, they're saying, oh, he's going too far. And then they're like, and Robin and Giselle are like, oh, Candace takes things back to Chris and dramatizes the things that were said. How the heck? Liars. How is she making this bigger than what you guys are making it? She's honestly trying to make sure it doesn't go any farther. You are the ones who are trying to make this something. She is on the opposite end of, she's on the receiving end of it, along with her husband, who has been nothing but kind to you guys. I don't get it. I do not get it. That is just, what they're doing is awful. What they're doing is awful. Robin, you were, in a good spot, knocking this down. Now saying that Candace is doing too much. Girl, you better stay on the right side of this. You better stay on the right side of this. Poor Shekula said, and the one with the brown. As soon as she met him, I want to see that brown penis. I know, brown dick. I want to see that brown dick. As soon as you meet that man. Now, he could have turned that around and made it into something. Girl. Aye said, I really feel for Candace, but I want her to stop crying because the other ladies see it as a weakness. I get it because I'm a crier too, but I had to learn who to cry in front of the hard way. That's very true. Listen, I am somebody who is not a crier, right? So I was really harsh on Candace. I was just like, girl, you gotta stop that crying. Like, enough is enough, right? But I realized that I was telling somebody to stop feeling, right? And maybe I should start feeling, you know what I mean? Like, how she handles her feelings does not make her weak or less than. But I do agree with you, IA, that she needs to learn who to cry in front of. I do agree. Naya said, if Candace actually considered Giselle a real friend, she should have known better. Giselle has been wicked. But this is the thing. They were friends they were friends off the show. So I think that's why she's so hurt. Because, and I'm telling you guys, I only know this for two reasons. One, the first time that I realized that reality TV is not reality TV is because I used to live down the street from, why am I pointing like I'm like it's right over there? But I used to live down the street from Kyle at her Encino property. And I remember walking by, I think it was the Sherman Oaks Galleria. Was it the Sherman Oaks Galleria? If you from that area, you know what I'm talking about. It's like right where the 405 is. I remember walking by and they were all filming a scene where they were at a restaurant that I was going to get my pickup order from. Okay. They were all filming a scene and they were like reshooting things that happened, right? So, the producer, yelled cut, and then they like placed them in different places, and then they were lighting them, and then they were telling them to redo the scene in. Like, they made Renna walk back into the scene with the same energy that she had before. They were making Yolanda say stuff that she had said previously, in the first scene. And I was like, oh, really? So this is manufactured. So that was like my first understanding of what these shows are. And then when I started working in reality TV and having relationships within reality TV, I realized what it was. Like, a lot of this, 90% of this stuff is fake, right? So And the best example I can give you from this show is when Candace and Monique got into it at the dinner table, right? This was when everything first hit the fan. They got into it at the dinner table, and Candace was just shocked that Monique was upset with her, right? So after the scene on the hot mic, because Monique did not know, Candace was just like, what is going on? Like, what happened? Are we like in a bad place? And Monique was like, oh girl, no, I was just doing that for that. I was just doing that for the scene. Like, she was letting her know that was I was manufacturing drama. I just didn't let you know about it. And Candace was just like, well, let me know next time so I could be prepared. But that was all on the hot mic, right? So a lot of this stuff is manufactured. A lot of this stuff, they're going into these beefs already planning them for the season, which is why they're also cool at the end and they're taking pictures and they're hanging out. And people are like, oh my God, don't hang out with her. She said this about you. But what you don't know is that they already knew they were going to say those things about each other, right? I think with Candace, she's just like, oh, wait a minute. This is not just show stuff. Like, you're planning a negative storyline around me and my husband, and I have no idea, but I don't know anything about this. You are springing this on me on camera. So she's not prepared to deal with it. And I think the reason why Giselle didn't tell her is because Candace would have said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But maybe in defense of Giselle, maybe they were gearing up to start filming and she didn't have anything. And she was like, well, this is what happened. So I could pull from this, you know what I mean? But I think she just embellished a bit too much. And now this has gotten away from her. But I think that in saying that Giselle is wicked, absolutely on the show. But I think outside of that, they had a real friendship and she probably wasn't wicked to her in the friendship. But on camera, during the show, she actually really is. And Candace, unfortunately, felt the side of her wickedness, and she was not prepared for it. Yasmin said, after listening to Giselle on Carlos King podcast, I really think Giselle thought Candace and Chris would understand that it's just for the show. Yep. But how is it just for the show when you are alluding or leading the viewers down the road that this man, if given the opportunity, would have sexually assaulted you? Like, that's where you're absolutely leading us. Now, maybe you didn't think that would happen, but that's where it's going. And I can't believe you don't have the wherewithal at your big age to bring this back, to reel this in. Pride is a killer. Pride is a killer. Evil. It was so ugly. It was so ugly because it wasn't real to her, but it was absolutely real to Candace. Dahlia said, Giselle lost all credibility with viewers. Absolutely. She is clearly not a long-term strategy thinker. That's the thing. I'm like, Giselle, this was so dumb for you to do because she's so great for the show. I have been someone that's always said that her and Grand Dame cannot be replaced. Potomac cannot survive without them because they ghost produce the hell out of that show. And they do it in such a flawless way. Giselle, you missed the mark on this one. You missed the mark on this one. Let me get some newer comments. Helena said they never liked each other for no reason. It's weird to me. Team Wendy, though. Team Wendy, absolutely. At least on this. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about Wendy later on, but I just feel like right now, I'm in her corner. Lady Virgo said, thank you. How long Ashley kept her foot on Robin about her relationship with Juan? And now they are friends. Yeah, Ashley was a menace. Like, y'all think she's terrible now? Whoo! I will never forget that episode where she reduced Robin to tears. Robin was breaking down, pleading with that woman to leave her alone, and Ashley would not let up. She would not let up. I think so too. I think so, absolutely, Yolanda. Mia is a pick-me and wants to align herself with the green-eyed bums. Okay. I don't know why I never read these comments all the way through. CR said, like I said, even when women provide full proof, there will always be people who disregard the truth. Absolutely. Women like Giselle just make it harder, make it extremely hard. And it's already extremely hard for victims of assault, especially if you're a woman. Akosua. Hope I'm saying pronouncing your beautiful name right. Akosa was said because Wendy is a dark-skinned, beautiful, smart, successful, and accomplished woman with a beautiful family and didn't have to lay under. Come on, ancient balls to get nothing, and don't take nothing from Mia. Child, we preaching in here. Drewski said she has chipped nail polish on vacation with her man. Come on, who loves her? Bitter. They are extremely bitter. Angel said Mia wants to fit in because all her life she stood out. Yeah, that childhood, that's the childhood trauma that she needs to deal with. Absolutely. Mia needs to find peace, right? And I think in her finding her peace, her parents being who they are, it's absolutely her story to tell. I will say, Mia, if you are trying to mend fences and repair the relationship with your only living parent, I think at some point you have to stop reminding the viewers that she was cracked out a lot of your young adult life, right? Here, well, younger life and young adult life. Here's why: because you want to mend the relationship with her, but you keep on exposing her for things you have forgiven her for on this show, and it doesn't seem genuine, right? It seems as if you are doing it in a way to manipulate sympathy. Although it is your story, the way you are going about telling this story, your story, it's something about it is not right. Something about it is not right. And I would absolutely understand if your mom refuses to film on this show because of how you speak about her. Even if the things that you were saying about her is true, you have chosen to forgive her and build a relationship with her. When you forgive, you move forward. Not saying that you have to forget, but I just do not see a path for you to continue to move forward with your mom if every chance you get, you are calling her a crack whore. Like, I feel bad for the mom. You know what I mean? And I was upset with the mother when Mia was telling her story. But now I'm like, damn, the lady is she's healing. She has done the work. You trust this crack whore enough to watch your kids. Why do you keep on dragging her every time you speak about her? Listen, if the mama don't want to film, I get it. I get it. Helena said, Wendy is a leftist ally smart queen, and I stand by my allies. She was already established, intelligent, and accomplished before the show, and she still is and will continue to be. Love her. I love her too. I love her too. Drewski said, this is exactly it. Wendy has everything they want, and Robin is just mad she and Giselle were read down at the reunion after a season of being messy, and Ashley is just along for the ride. Ashley does things because she don't want the spotlight on her. I mean, I think she's great at keeping, if the spotlight is on her, I think she's great at keeping her cool. But I honestly feel like something is happening because this divorce is not making sense. This divorce is not making sense. And I'm just like, I feel like somebody's hiding assets or protecting assets. Natasha said they hate Wendy because she pulled their mask off last season. Narcissists don't like when somebody pulls their mask off. I absolutely agree. Let's go to Onyx. What's up? Onyx said Robin seems like she would get along with the rest of the cast if Giselle wasn't there. Her and Wendy seem fine in the car. I think so too. I absolutely think so too. I think that Giselle is a bad influence on Robin, but Robin, you're 40. Like, at some point, you have to be your only influence. Asadu said, throwing drinks and hitting heads with the purse. Are you kidding me? Fire that. Okay. Okay, Candace. Okay, Candace. To be honest with you, I don't see her remaining on the show after what we see next episode. Because I'm telling you guys, I think it's a lot worse than that clip that they showed us. And the only reason why I think that is because of Mia's behavior. Mia is apologizing her face off. And I'm like, why are you apologizing like this? Even when Wendy was cussing her out, you're right. I was wrong. I own it. I'm so sorry. I wish that I could say it to you in person. Not you. Apologizing to Wendy, pleading with Wendy. Oh, you know this check is probably done. SW Stars Entertainment said the housewives need to stop with these storylines going forward. The storyline is giving Real Housewives of Atlanta season 9. Thank you. And it took them some time to come back from the drug rape storyline. That took the comedy out of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. SW, you are on it. You are on it. You are absolutely right. The Real Housewives of Atlanta was never the same. Never the same after season 9. And I don't know if they could ever get back. I don't know if they could ever get back from that. Aye said, this will be the last season I watched. The show is no longer enjoyable. It's upsetting. I watch reality TV for escapism. Absolutely. I don't want to see any quality. This form of entertainment is bad for my soul. I agree. I agree. Oh, Dahlia said the Real Housewives of Potomac best vacation was Portugal. Yes, absolutely beautiful. It made me want to visit. Definitely in the top 10 housewives trips. And another reason why it was so good was because they got in arguments, but they got over it and then they were able to laugh and have a good time. Like there were so many levels to that girls trip and that's what you need. But my God, today is this Miami trip evil. Ken said, did you see Watch What Happens Live when Mia said that Wendy better be glad she even made it in the house? Yikes. So she learned nothing. Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for bringing that up. When they showed that clip of Mia picking up that salad and throwing it at Candace, and now she's throwing a drink and hitting Wendy with her purse, like, what's the next level? I don't want this show to wait around to see what other object Mia is going to pick up to hit another cast member. Like, I don't want that. I don't want that. Like her behavior is escalating at this point. And it's like, if you cannot handle the heat of this show, then this show is not for you. Cam Delete said, hopefully they are saving up for a trip to Africa to visit where Wendy and Eddie are from. I think Giselle will lose her mind there. That would be so beautiful. I just don't know that this cast is mature enough to handle the trip to Africa and have it filmed. You picking up what I'm putting down? I feel like they will just say everything wrong and the show will have no footage. The show will have no footage. Hey, Johnny. Johnny said, hey, Nikki, you look beautiful as usual. Just want to say I'm only checking for Karen. Wendy and Candace this season. Everybody else needs to get some backlash. Yeah, it's time. It's time. Thank you so much, Johnny. Thank you. Josie said, Robin and Giselle's dynamic reminds me of how Cynthia was always running behind Nene. Yeah. And then she wasn't. And it got ugly. Oh, my goodness. It got ugly. Ayamade, thank you so much for the super chat. That was right in my ear. Ayamade said the hate for Wendy is irrational. They can't even explain why. Room full of black women, and they still managed to be daughter of the Confederate. Well, you better preach. You better preach. Thank you so much, Dustin, for the super chat. Thank you. Let me get some more and then I gotta get out of here. Lady Virgo said, it doesn't help that Giselle also added that Chris was a sneaky link and I think he was trying to get it with me. Yeah. She keeps on adding and then she takes away, right? Giselle adds and takes away depending on how somebody receives the story from her, right? So she was adding with Robin. No, she wasn't adding with Robin, but I think she was adding with Karen. It was either Karen or me. It was somebody, or maybe Ashley. It's somebody she was talking to, and she added a little bit more. But with Robin, she was hesitant because Robin was just like, not Chris Bassett, the guy whose house you always overeating his meals, licking his plates, talking about his brown dick. Not him. She couldn't embellish with her, right? But she'll embellish with other people who will, eat that up because they've got a problem with Candace. But this is going to backfire. This is going to backfire. Yep, Brittany said, but Robin and Giselle get to be mad at Wendy for comments that she made over a year ago, but Candace is being dramatic. You guys are saying that her husband could have possibly sexually assaulted this woman and that he's trying to get with all of her co-workers. Because Ashley, you do come from a place of vindictiveness, because there's no way that you, A woman in her 30s does not understand what sliding in the DMs and responding to an Instagram story is. There's no way that you can confuse that. There's no way. You are being vindictive. You are. Yolanda said Robin and Giselle are extremely narcissistic and gaslight others when they get called out on their behavior. Robin better watch out because of the allegations involving Juan. Child. Pay whatever they want, Juan. Get out of that. Be a witness for the victim. Dayla said this is exactly what they did to Monique. Yep. Then Wendy and now Candace. Wish she would have realized before. Me too. I was so mad at Monique. I was like, this is Giselle. Why the hell are you mad at Candace? You road dog. Why are you mad at her? CR said that's the same thing Contessa did to Heavenly. The least you can do is to let the other person know so they can play along. Yep. Carolyn, hey, said, hey, Nikki, Giselle didn't think this through. She didn't. Her accusations now warrant an HR investigation by Bravo, their employer. Yep. Thank you, Tracy. Tracy says, shout out to the NikkiStar replay gang. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and share the channel to your social media. Yes. Thank you all so much, Star fam. Tia B has said, me too, Nikki. Stop dragging this poor lady already. We get it, but stop it. Enough is enough already. We talking about Candace? Because I've been talking about so much. I done forgot. I did forgot. Dahlia said, isn't it weird that Charisse had no response for the story Mia told her about her dad dying in jail and getting fostered to her friend's family? She's so blasé. Just go, girl. You know what? Let's talk about that. Because like I said, I don't have anything against Charisse. She just seems very boring to me. Like in the earlier seasons, like I do not remember her. And I watched that show. I do not remember her. And now that she's on this show, it's just like, they don't have memorable friend ofs, right? Like these friends are not bringing it. And I feel like it's just Potomac. The Real Housewives of Atlanta, they have memorable friend of, but they're annoying. That's the thing. I never like the friend of because they're annoying. But Potomac, forgettable. I'm like, what is she adding to this show other than the fact that we get these funny reads from the Grand Dame? I don't think that's enough to keep her around, in my opinion. Dolly also said maybe it's like the champagne bottle, like Evelyn Lozada. Mia can stay in Miami and pick up a contract with VH1. That's where she belongs. Yeah, you belong on Love and Hip Hop, where all that fighting is acceptable. But baby, that clip of you is not a good look. Dr. M said, I agree. Someone would say the wrong thing if they went to Africa or Nigeria, that Africa or Nigeria trip. Maybe they should do a Wendy and Eddie family trip back to Nigeria. Yeah, I would say that. I wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't trust them in Africa. Absolutely not. That's when they were fun. That's when they were hysterical. We lost it in season 9. We lost it. You know what? I never even thought of that. But probably Pink Petals. Probably. Like can we be real? We're all adults here. Were you getting a little excited? Was the clam jumping and you felt uncomfortable? That happens. IA said, I feel sorry for G now that he's losing the business. Mia will be gone soon. Mia can sense it, hence the apology tour she's on. She needs to keep her check. That's exactly what she's doing. She needs to keep that check. Yeah, I talked about it, Tracy. She said that he grabbed her butt at the spring event where there were multiple cameras. A mess. I want to get at least then 2 more and then we'll get out of here. Elise said, yeah, these Bravo shows are getting way too out of hand. When I was younger, they were entertaining, but now it's sad and taking a toll on my mental health. Oh, girl, don't let it do that. Take a break. Come for the reviews. Sasha C said, I wonder what Giselle will say on the reunion when Robin went behind her back to talk to Candace and Chris. Oh, she won't say anything. And the reason why I think she won't say anything, because Robin is a huge ally for her. She can't lose her. Thank you so much. AON said, Karma is busy. The allegations against Juan correlate with what they're trying to do with Chris. And Charisse is what to become of Ashley post-divorce. Probably. See, Escala was the only one that I liked. She was the only one that I liked. JG said, girl, you don't remember when Charisse and Karen was going at it on the boat, and TT Karen real edges was shaking in the wind. Charisse and Ashley going at it in the dress shop, and Karen and Giselle at tea and lunch. No, I don't. And I've watched all seasons. I just don't remember her. Eva said, Charisse seems a little medicated. You know what? Especially at this Miami trip. There was a lot of, Miss T said Charisse was embarrassed of her messy divorce and jumped off the show as quickly as possible and then realized she wanted back in. Yeah, which I understand. Which I absolutely understand. I would not want to be going through a divorce and be on this show. I would not want to do that. Let's end with Dahlia. Dahlia said the real issue is that there are real housewives with nothing going on in their world. Their kids are getting older and they are just living life. The concept can't survive past a few seasons. Yeah, without introducing new housewives. So we'll see. We will see. Thank you all so much for joining your girl for another hilarious because of you, of course, because of me. But you guys are hysterical. Thank you all so much for joining me. I will be. I'll be on the East Coast. Maybe I'll go live after this episode. Check back on this page. If you're just here for Potomac, check back either Sunday or Monday. Here is why I probably might go do a live on Sunday, because baby, the week of Thanksgiving, I don't know where I'm gonna be. And I feel like Sunday is my only chill day before the storm. So we will see. But what I will do is I'm going to take Ken's suggestion and I'm going to share the join in link here. And if you guys have anything you want to say, you can join in. You don't have to get on camera, but I'll let you guys come in and speak your piece, because I feel like that episode is going to be awful. And I don't think I'll have much to say outside of that. So I'll definitely do that. And we'll be able to chat about it together. But once again, thank you all so much for joining me. Please make sure you hit the notification bell before you get out of here. Hit that like button, and I will see you soon for something else. If you like Love is Blind, I'll be completing that series. I'm going to talk about the weddings and the reunion tomorrow afternoon, late afternoon. So hopefully I'll see you there. Thank you so much for joining me. Love you. See you soon. Bye. Mwah. Oh, gosh. Next week is going to be a bloodbath.